Let's talk about 360 Rain Machine and how to control it using the 360 Rain app. The 360 Rain app is currently available in the App Store and can be downloaded at any time. If you need a login to access your account, you can contact our product support team and they can create an account for you. When you open the 360 Rain app, you'll notice it immediately loads a list of all your current active machines. Under the Settings gear from the Machines List tab, you'll see a list of settings, and there's 3 of them that are relevant to you as a user right now. Save login credentials and auto login with saved credentials are 2 switches I strongly recommend turning on. This will avoid you having to type a password every time you enter the app, and will also avoid you having to hit login if your password is already saved from previous times. A third setting that matters on this page is Show Path Labels. I strongly recommend turning this setting on. This shows the little white labels right next to the paths you're running, which tells you where you're at in the field. This morning, we're going to use a machine called the Top 55, which is a local test machine for our example. When you click on that machine, you'll land on this home screen here. This screen here gives you basic information about what your machine is currently doing, where it's at in the field, and what it's going to do next. So you'll notice across the top we have what we call a taskbar. It shows the machine is running, and this set of paths is just getting started. So it's running on task 1 out of 69 tasks. The machine is currently inbound on this pass. Notice this blue highlighted pass. The machine is backing up on that pass, headed back towards the 50-yard line across the bottom here, where it will pick up another pass and move forward. As you move down the screen, you'll notice there's a commands button. We'll come back to that. On the far left, we have a IPS reading. This is inches per second, so this is the speed your machine is traveling in inches per second. Moving across that line, you'll notice it says 32%. 32% is the current fuel level in the machine. And then on the far right-hand side, it says roughly 10 psi. This is the pressure inside the liquid distribution manifold on the back of your machine. So what this tells us is our machine's moving, our fuel level is good, and we are pumping liquid at this time. Below that, we have the well indicator. You'll notice it says main is green right now, and the main water source for this machine is on. If that water source is off, you'll notice that that button will go red. And then below all of this, you have the engine tab, which is telling you the current active voltage on your 12-volt system, and also telling you the RPM of your engine. You can notice this engine's running 2,000 RPM. That's standard across all Rain machines. You should expect to see 2,000 at any time. Back to the commands tab. When you open the commands tab, you'll notice there's a fairly long list of commands here. These commands are all used for different operations of the machine. The first one we'll talk about is the run command. When your machine is stopped, you'll hit the run command to start it following a path. The next most important command will be the stop command. The stop just stops your machine wherever it is, stops it right there for you to work on, or if you just want to change the task it's operating on and send it on a different path. The clear airs command will be used somewhat regularly if you have an issue. For example, if you have any sort of air with the hose system, anything in that neighborhood that trips the machine and stops it where the taskbar reads red with an air, you will use the clear airs command to clear that air. After pressing the clear airs command, you will want to navigate to the settings gear, go to the diagnostics page, and verify there are no more red airs before trying to run your machine again. Another command we'll use is the lock and unlock machine command. This is a safety for working on the machine. So for example, if you have multiple people on your farm operation that all have access to this Rain machine to control it, if you're physically working on the machine, you will want to lock out the machine so that other operators cannot remotely start it. It's a very important and critical safety measure. If you don't lock it out, there's always a chance that someone else could accidentally start it and you could be hurt. Obviously, when you're done working on it, you would then use the unlock command to unlock the machine and put it back to where it can be remotely controlled. Remote engine start and remote engine stop are 2 commands we use to start and stop engines. So for example today, if you stopped your Rain machine due to a rain event or you just didn't want it to run because you're going to spray the field or something like that, you could hit remote engine stop. You could then go up and hit enable auto charge. Enable auto charge is going to automatically restart your engine every few hours or whenever the battery voltage drops below a certain level. This keeps your batteries charged and keeps your machine ready for the next time you want to use it. So for example, say you stopped your machine, you stopped the engine, you enabled auto charge, you went and done your spraying or whatever you needed to do, and now you're coming back and you want to restart your machine, you would then go disable auto charge, remote start your engine, which will start the engine up. Once the engine is running and you have RPM on the bottom page, you can then hit the run command to start your machine. At this point, go refuel and go home are commands that are not functional yet. Those will be coming soon in the next months. The final commands on this screen are hose in and hose out. Hose in and hose out can be used, but should be used with great caution. Hose in and hose out are used to put 6 inches of hose each time you press it either in or out of the dispenser. This can be used to fix a hose angle error on a corner, but should be used very carefully and in conjunction with the cameras seen under machine settings. If you load machine settings, you will notice that the cameras will load and show you the hose out the back of the machine. And using that, you can then decide whether or not to use hose jog. Exercise great caution with this command. If used incorrectly, you can make a hose angle error worse. We're going to talk about the settings gear real quick here. The settings gear in the top right corner, when you press it, you get diagnostics, liquid system, field paths, machine settings, and software update tabs. The diagnostic tab is the primary one you'll use if your machine has an error. When you come here, everything should be green. If you see anything yellow, that's a warning, and if you see anything red, that's an error that's going to shut your machine down. If you see errors here, the easiest and quickest way to resolve them is to go back to the main screen, go and hit the clear errors button, and see if they clear. A warning on the clear errors button. It resets devices on the machine, which sometimes take up to a minute to come back online. So if you hit the clear errors button, you need to check the diagnostics page and wait for at least 60 seconds for all of the errors to clear. In a scenario where you have errors that the clear errors button will not clear, you should call our product support line and they will help you resolve them. The liquid system page is the next page on the screen. The liquid system page is used to control your pump system. When setting up your liquid system, it's best to contact your regional manager or our product support team for help. But when controlling the liquid system, you'll notice there's a small slider switch that says on/off. You can turn this switch on or off at any time to disable the pumps or enable the pumps on your machine after they have been set up. The Field Paths button allows you to switch between active sets of paths for your fields. For example, some users have one field that is partial alfalfa and partial corn. They have 2 sets of paths, one for alfalfa and one for corn. In the Field Paths selection button, you're given the option to switch between paths. When you switch between paths, it does take around 30 seconds for the machine to download a new set of paths and make them active. So you should switch paths and then pause for about a minute before attempting to run your machine. Also note, when switching paths, you must be at your riser location when you do the switch. The Machine Settings tab is where you'll go to change the speed of your machine. Coming soon, in the next month or so, you will be able to set the liquid rate you want your machine to apply, and the machine will automatically change its speed to hit that rate. But today, that's not functional. So in here, you have a percent of maximum speed. Maximum speed is around 8 inches per second, and the percent of that goes down to about 0. Please note the machine does not function well lower than 25% speed. So please operate between 25 and 85% speed for best results on your machine. Machine task is also just above that. This allows you to change the task number your machine is on. So for example, if you're going outbound on task 106, like this machine is currently, you could change it to, you could stop the machine, change it to 107 and restart, and that would back it up on that task. As you scroll down, you'll notice there's cameras. Cameras are helpful for remote diagnostics. They will help you fix hose angle errors. They're also handy for just checking your crop health and the general function of the machine. Please note that cameras increase the data rate use that your machine uses. You can expect a higher monthly data bill if you use your cameras regularly, so use them judiciously. The Software Update tab at the bottom of the page should only be used when suggested to you by 360 personnel. This is a brief overview of the current machine app for controlling a 360 array machine. If you have any issues or questions regarding the operation of your machine, please feel free to reach out to our product support line and we will be happy to assist you.